and fitness, huge subject. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but it's vital. I mean, it's vital if having fun on your bike, really. Dirt jumpers, you know, that's a lot of their strength is upper body strength, and they, you know, building the tracks is their upper body training. It's just a perfect combination, really. Watch how fast, like Peat, he's pedaling the end of a 5-minute track. He's just going like a lunatic, and it's just bananas. I mean, nobody can do that, and that you don't get to be able to sprint that fast without doing a lot of work beforehand. Steve Peat, I mean, that is the ultimate of physical ability. But Warner, I mean, Warner's got a training program. All top riders have got training programs. I mean, Warner's might be on a sheet of A4 paper and says do, you know, 50, 100 press-ups and stuff like that, or go and ride his trials bike, go and ride trails. You're always doing something. There's always some physical element involved in what these guys do.
Shit don't make no sense, man. Eventually, you know, that's gonna catch up with you, and if you can't fight.
Hey, Greg Minnaar, 22 years old from South Africa. Today we're looking at how to do the switchbacks. We've got a left-hander and a right-hander. You want to start off on your best foot and, you know, do the first left-hander properly so you can get the second one better. There's no point rushing into the first one and messing up because you're going to mess up the second corner. So you want to have the feet level, brake early so you can set up, get a little bit wider, kind of be in the center of your bike, feel all loose, and carve into the berm and cut up to carve into the right-hander so you can set yourself up good. The two key braking areas are just before the left-hander, between the left-hander and the right-hander, but not in the corner, or else you're going to scrub before your speed. You want to carry good speed through the section. A good way to practice this is by putting 2 cones in your garden and just carving around them. But if you want to be extra good, put 2 rose bushes next to each other, because I'm sure you'll get the corner better.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm Chris Powell, and I'm here today to tell you how to get through a rhythm section. You know, every rhythm section that you go to, every set of whoops on any track are going to be different, obviously, but the #1 thing to do is just to stay calm and relaxed. If you don't, you'll have no flow, and that'll equate to you getting passed. So when you're approaching the rhythm section, the best thing to do, especially if you're a junior or you're a less experienced rider, is just to pump through. And when you get to the backside of each jump, you have to make sure to push down with not only your handlebars, but your knees and your hips as well. When you're approaching the jump, you're not only pushing down on the transition of the jump, but you're gyrating up the lip as well. If you would imagine a skateboarder in a vert ramp, when you watch them ride, they pump down the transition, and then as they go up, they pump up as well. You can gain speed off of not only the upslope, but the downslope. Rolled in slow, and then use the pumping and the gyration off of the first 2 to be able to double out. When properly done, you can gain enough speed to jump a gap like this, or probably even longer. For intermediate riders that can't jump as well, and even for expert riders, if you can do it correctly, it's much faster than jumping. You want to roll the jump. So when you approach the jump, you stay loose around the middle, the center of your bike, and then as you get to the top of it, you lean back and you push with your hips and your knees and your feet down, and you get back towards the bike, and that'll naturally bring the front of the bike up, and you will roll through the double, and then you will get a good pump off of the transition of the rhythm section, and that'll help you gain speed as you go through. If you try and pull up with your handlebars, like as if you were doing a wheelie, a lot of people think that's how you roll a jump. You'll just get the front wheel up high, you'll come down, and you're gonna smack it right here, and you've just lost all your speed and probably crashed. So make sure to be using your legs to gain speed and to get the front wheel up. You don't need a rhythm section like this. You can practice this in your backyard. You can go to a parking lot, anywhere you want where you have flat open space. Just practice a manual. Practice getting back on your bike, getting the front wheel up, and finding your balance point, because it's the balance point that gives you confidence. And when you're confident with just riding a manual, you can bring that to any track and you can run it. Not all tracks are as smooth as this one here. Sometimes you'll find a track where the insides of the jumps are rough and bumpy, and you can't roll through them smoothly, and you can't get a good pump, so you have to jump through them. have to stay calm and focused. Jump, try and keep it as low as you can. When you jump, look for your landing, look for your backside, because when it's as tight as this, you don't want to be looking ahead, you want to be looking where you're going, right here. So you land here, get a good pump with your bike, pump the transition, and that'll give you the speed to launch the next one smoothly. And for this particular course, there's a corner right there that's 180 degrees and flat, so you're pretty much coming to a stop and then starting again. So on this kind of straightaway, you're going to want as much speed as you can coming into it so you can carry speed through the finish and not get passed. So the professional technique would be to come through the turn, start pedaling, and then a few feet before the jump, get into a little bit of a pedal wheelie and be able to continue pedaling all the way through until here when you set your tire down and then manual out. That way you've just gotten another 3 pedals into your competitor who probably stopped pedaling a few feet before here and is going way slower than you are. And it might be the same jumps, but you can sit around all day and come up with a new line. Hey, I want a double 2 triple out, or maybe I want a manual 3 double out, or manual the whole section, whatnot. You can just have fun with your friends, you can practice, you can play, and you can come up with something new out of something ordinary.
So what we've got here is a combination corner and change of direction. So you're approaching the left-hand corner, and even though you're going, when you're on the bike, even though you're going around the left-hand corner, that is subconscious. You should be done and dusted. What you're looking for is the corner coming after that. You should be looking towards that. I mean, this just comes with practice. There's a few things to remember. Is firstly your body position. Secondly, you shouldn't really necessarily have to worry about the roots that are on the track. That's what you're looking for is smooth arcs to your corners. It's the corner you're worrying about. You can let the roots and the bike deal with itself really. If you're keeping your focus on where you're going, that is the main thing. When you've got shallow turns like this, you shouldn't really be worried about the brakes too much. And a good way to practice it is to roll into it from a certain point and then go further back until you get into it, sort of pedaling as fast as you can. And you're going to do that switch over as smoothly as possible, so you're always keeping that traction on those tyres. So it's a very quick but smooth turnover. Doing it again and again and again and again. Maybe, I think you can maybe do this 20 times in an hour. It's the only way you're going to get the feel to it.
I'm Steve Peat, I ride for Orange England, and we're going to show you some setup lines, getting into a corner and getting out of a corner fast. When you're a pro racer, you've got to be good on every kind of turn, so it's good to go practice and try on different turns. I race all over the world and have to be good on every type of turn. So come out in the woods and find something where you just want to have a practice on. And this is a good example of what we've been doing. Trying a couple of different lines coming in. One is to get out wide on the turn, do your braking before the turn, set up and get out wide, and then get off your brakes in the turn and rail the turn out of it, and carry more speed out of the turn into the next section of the track. But the other way is to come in faster on the main line, and then you tend to do a bit of braking in the turn, which is not really a good thing, but you'll come out a little bit slower, so then you'll have to grab a couple of pedals and get back up to speed. So it's your choice. Everybody's got a different way of turning, and you'll find